Good evening and welcome to the final round of the Simufur GT4 Championship. I have been and I am your host, Snowdog, and tonight we are in for one final round of GT4 madness. Tonight at Mount Panorama, or Bathurst as it's more commonly known as. A lot of the drivers through the week have been saying it's a particularly challenging track tonight, and they're not wrong either, but we will go for a drive very shortly. Okay, so bear with me a few minutes before we go out onto track. So we will head out onto the pit wall. Again, very colourful grid tonight. This is only practice session, so we are here for about half an hour before we go into the official practice server, which of course we will spend the majority of the time looking at the live timing boards. And we'll go through some of the liveries as well. Not everybody's joined yet. There's 11 cars are currently out on the grid. And practicing before we switch over. And I'm going to be right back in a couple of minutes where we'll go through a quick track guide and then we'll go through some driving as well. Some very nice looking liveries here tonight. And we'll come back to this one in particular a little bit later. Just a little bit later. We've got Lunatic who's back this week for the final round. Blade Wolf is also in the famous grey and blue Aston Martin. And this is my own rendition because quite frankly, well, it links to Azure's livery, which we'll go through a little bit later. But for now, be right back, everyone. If you have just joined the stream, welcome. We are going to go ahead shortly. back and ready to go on a track walk then, or track fly if you want, of Bathurst or Mount Panorama. So then, start off as we always done every week. Look at the pit lane. It's quite an entrance to it. So it comes just off this straight here. It's a very long run up to the pits. Drivers have to be careful when coming into this pit though. It can really catch you off guard. So you've really got to slow down coming in. Then up to the pit limiter sign, which is actually just here. The drivers can't be doing too much speed. We've got someone coming in now. You can see Bracken there. Just gently ease your way into the pits. Coming off the gas there. Very long pit it is as well. If you have a drive through here, woof, it is a lap you don't want to be doing. And anyway, out here, not a very long run out as well. Straight back onto the racing line. So drivers coming around the first corner there definitely have to approach with caution if they hear that there's a car coming out the pits. But on the equal side of it, cars coming out the pits can't cross straight over onto the other line, otherwise, well, that's just a dick move really, isn't it? I'm going to pull a track map up for you guys before we, well, I'm not going to pull it up for you guys, you won't see it, I'll be seeing it and guiding you through it. Otherwise, if I gave you the track map to look at, that's pretty much my job over. So there you go. Welcome to the stream, by the way, if you've just joined. Who's that? Shot pass. Bracken again, I believe. Right, so let's get started then. So, pointed out the pits onto the start-finish straight. Here is the start-finish straight. Quite a long way for the drivers to race before coming onto what's known as Hell Corner. This can be a difficult corner to predict to go around. It's quite a steep left-hand turn here now. You can see we've got a car coming round now. Who's that? We've got ZZ who's joined us for the last race. As you can see, if you get it wrong, you go too wide and immediately invalidate the lap. So after Hell Corner then comes, you have to excuse me, I've got the hiccups somehow, comes the Mountain Straight. Very, very long straight section. GT3 cars can get up to top speed, but GT4 cars may struggle here. And then you get on to Quarry Bend. So this is a corner I've taken in approximately gear 3. Gear 3 most of the cars that I've come up in, but look how steep it goes up. It's the blade going up it now. The important thing there is to hug the inside line and let yourself naturally flow out of the corner to hit the apex on the outside here, but it's a very steep climb. Someone else coming up? Not quite yet, so we'll carry on anyway. So anyway, up the steep climb after Quarry Road into the cutting. It's this difficult bit here, and it is difficult in my opinion. It's still going uphill. It's not quite full speed if you haven't got the car set up right. It can be full speed. But then straight after a cutting point, you go into a hairpin, which is just up there. I believe there's a couple of cars due to come through now. You can see on the map, it's marked me, but I'm in the pits. So that's a couple of drivers heading up Mountain Straight now, beyond Quarry Bend in the next couple of minutes, and with us. So it'll be about 3 or 4 drivers coming through now. So got Bracken. So you go, it's quite wide before coming into the hairpin. Who else have we got? There's Azure there, followed by Danny. So it starts off hugging the wall, but then it does go out. Allow yourself. It's Scani there, back for a race. You allow yourself to go wide through that corner before coming back in to take the hairpin. So here comes then the hairpin. If we go on road level again, look how uphill it's going. So it's a gear 1 or 2 corner immediately, and it's up to you whether or not you want to accelerate. But if you go too far on the outside at this bit, you're stuffed. You could end up trading paint with the whole wall unless you get off the accelerator and get back on again. Not sure if there's any cars coming up the hairpin, but look how steep it continues to climb up the mountain. I think we've got another car due to come round soon-ish. Yeah, so here we go. So that's Azure then. Comes round the hairpin at quite a good speed there and starts to build up. Starts to build up momentum going into Griffin's Mount. So Griffin's Mount is this little bit here. Again, you could be getting on the accelerator into gear 3 or so. You just have to watch the car doesn't spin up and kick the back end out. There goes Bracken, and up into this bit. It's called Raid Park. Yeah, Raid Park. So again, continuing up the incline. This one's a corner most cars are going to have to lift for. Just hitting the start of the corner there, then you immediately put your foot down and power your way into Salmon Park, which will go up in a minute. Power your way into Salmon Park. And this one again, you're very much hugging the wall all the way up this mountain section now. It's a very close call track, very narrow track to overtake on. Especially up in the mountain, we'll be looking at drivers being extremely, hopefully, careful going up this bit. But we'll follow this driver now. It's Danny. You can see he has a bit of a dink on the wall there coming through Salmon's Park. The next bit. Slight left here. Oh dearie me, and Scani has gone off. Oraz just about manages to get past him, but you can see how wide the track is. How narrow the track is, to a point where Oraz didn't quite make it past without taking a dink himself. But immediately Scani returns to the pits. So anyway, coming through then, we come around this corner here, McFillery Park it's called, onto Skyline. Again, this corner is a fun corner, needless to say, because you want to do some lifting, and just as you get to about the middle of the corner you can put back down and hit the curb on the outside there. Let's see if someone's coming through it now. Let's move a little bit away from the corner so you can see. Quite a few cars heading up Mountain Straight at the moment, so they'll be with us shortly. The overall the hill climb that I've been covering at the moment isn't a very long drive. In fact, most of the racing drivers that come to watch tonight will agree that it happens almost all at once. And you can see Azure going through that corner onto Skyline there very smoothly through it as well. Hugging the inside wall, takes the outside curve quite nicely. Let's see if we've got someone else. We do have someone else. That's Danny. It's Scani, excuse me. But there you go, another smooth transition through that corner. Once you get the slightest dink on that corner, that's you lost the lap immediately. Into the famous Skyline then, this bit here. Almost no room for overtaking on this bit at all, so drivers, when they come through here, it's going to have to be precise. Very precise. And the next big bit you get into And yes, Straggle Block, I have indeed uploaded the liveries. Oh, someone shot past me there. Hold on. Got Fez Fox going through into the dipper now, so this is a very steep downhill section. But if you're on a, look how steep downhill it is. If we go down to track level, excuse me, hold on. So it's very steep downhill chicane. It's an evil chicane. Obviously you'd look at that and go, oh my god, you need to be doing a lot of braking, but the reality of it is not really, because if you brake too much, you slow all the way down and lose time on your lap. But if you don't brake enough, you could potentially cause your car to skid out, and the last thing you want to do is catch your nope, hold on, sorry, I got that bit wrong. This is the S's after Skyline, sorry about that. So the Skyline is before that barrier there. This is the S's. You don't really want to be going wrong here, because you could potentially knock yourself out going down onto the dipper section here. This is a very, you can see braking come through now, and unfortunately that is a case of what can happen coming down the S's into the dipper. It's got a very initial D feeling about it, hasn't it? We need the music. Here comes Azure Goat, slowly down. They're not happy with that lap, clearly, so. And down comes Lazuli as well, again slowly, probably scoping out the track just to get grip on that Porsche. So anyway, down the dipper section, then follow this very fast bit of track here. Coming around this corner into Forest's Elbow, the final hairpin going down the mountain. Got Scanny coming in there. So it's very heavy braking, early turning. You catch the outside of the corner then onto, we'll follow Scanny a bit, why not? Onto Conrod Straight then. Very, very, very long section of the track. Cars can get up to top speed if they're inclined to do so. Come up to this bit of a kink in the track called the Chase, before you then move on to Murray's Corner. This is a very fast corner. No, it's not. This is the Chase, excuse me. The kink we just passed is pretty much called the kink. It used to be, I believe, Conrod Straight used to be literally straight down to Murray's Corner onto the pit straight, but they've added in the Chase now to slow cars down a bit. Anyway, on to there's the there's the pit lane. This is Murray's Corner, where you go onto the start finish straight. Now, it's exciting enough to do a flying camera of it, but come on. Where would we be if we didn't drive the track, at least? So, naturally... Oh, no, maybe not. I'm not set up for that, right? Hold on. So naturally we're going to go out. Now, I haven't had much time to set up tyres or anything for this, so we're going to go on a slow drive of the track. Hopefully the drivers will be nice. There's no one on the start-finish straight at the moment, so we're going to take this time to go out now.
Low tire pressure, stay away from curbs.
So I'm going to ride the brakes a little bit, just to warm the tyres up. So there's no one behind us, so this is us on Mountain Straight. Start the hill climb in a minute, you'll see just how steep it can get. So there's that really steep, so this is the start of the uphill section. Nice casual drive. We're doing a casual drive through here, but some of the drivers will be really pushing hard at this bit. Oh!
We've got some light damage on the front of the car.
God. Oh no, we lost the car. No one saw it, it's fine. Hold on a minute. Okay, so we have got damage to the car, but never mind. Coming onto the skyline then. And we going down into the S's, so you can see it's a very steep.
There's a slow car up ahead.
Then we go down into the dipper, so it's a lot of steering wheel work. Into Forest's elbow. Let's put a bit of speed on it now because we're on Conrod Straight. No point in being slow down in this section. So I would like to point out my wheel at the moment is actually straight in real life, so we have taken a bit of damage to the car, but that's what happens on Conrod. Oh. So here we go for the chase. So try and go for a semi-fast lap then. So difficult first corner, as it says. Wushu, I know what I'm doing. It is a casual drive at 200 kilometers an hour. So anyway then, so here we go with the mountain climb. Park corner, allowed to go. This is a difficult bit. It might be a casual drive, but when you get on the mountain you can't help but try and go a little bit quickly. So here, that's what I mean when lifting, just constantly pushing, lift, try and catch the cars. We nearly hit the wall on the skyline. Took that a bit too wide there. God.
Box this lap, we have to repair the car.
Just get off the racing line very quickly. Oh, wow, okay, so God, I didn't believe it was 8 o'clock already. So we're actually going to go to the practice server now. And I think we'll do a couple of cheeky practice laps. Just for the fun of it. But we are in that section where we're waiting for the practice server to come up. The liveries are downloaded, Wushu. So we're here on the official practice session. going to go out whilst there's little cars on the track. It's time to probably select a gear. Anyway.
Low tire pressure, stay away from curbs.
So not much room to mess about then on this one. So this is the actual practice server. There's 20 minutes for the drivers to get their best laps in. Just gonna ride the brakes a little bit. So these puppies really need to be warm. Otherwise, you can go wide like that.
Yellow flag ahead, be careful.
So everything we're doing now is just purely to warm up the tyres. We're not driving particularly quickly at the moment, because as you can see in the top right, other drivers will be seeing this at the moment as well. The drivers are the tyres are like ice cold. Relative up there, so behind us at the moment is Tai Chi in another Alpine. That's right, I got it right this week, guys. It's not a Janetta, it's an Alpine. So anyway, up for a casual drive on the mountain. It's never a casual drive on the mountain. So we'll do one flying lap. If we bin it this time, we'll stop and go back to focusing on the drivers. That was the first corner done nice and smoothly there. Probably could have been a little bit quicker, but we go up the mountain straight. Notice it is actually a little bit dark, so I'm going to put our lights. Whoa, that's not our lights. I'm going to put our lights on. Brake here. Just feed the accelerator in. So a little bit of lifting is going to be required for this bit. But brake almost immediately. That was a bit wrong on that one, but then incorporate the hairpin into this. So I'm full throttle there, but then lifting now. Allow the car to turn in, hug the wall. Again, lifting now. Allow the car to turn in, hug the wall, lift now. And then the S is brake. Lightly on the brakes. Down into gear 2, onto the dipper, allow the inertia of the car to take you, and then foot down. I lift it this bit personally, but other drivers will take it. Other drivers may take it flat out. I've not quite figured out how to do that yet. But last hairpin, probably a bit too tight to the wall.
Yellow flag in
but
sector
nevertheless, got round it smoothly enough to get a good exit on Conrod Straight, which we're on now. So we're going to go through the kink and then brake now for the chase. And you can let the brakes out, apply a bit of throttle, really slingshot yourself out the corner, catch the outside curb, and then brake in between these two signs. On the start finish straight.
Well done, mate. Personal fastest lap.
We'll do one more. It's P4 at the moment, but obviously there are other drivers out there that do need to put in times. We will get a look at the drivers on the grid. We've got Tai Chi behind us in the other Alpine. He'll be on a quick lap, so we're going to try and get through a little bit more quickly. Tyres are a lot warmer than they were when we first went out. You can see on the HUD now, which means a little bit more stability and grip. Losing a bit of power coming up the hill there, but if you change down, you're just losing time. Oh, a bit wide, but we made it. This corner now. Oh no!
We've got some light damage on the front.
We've still got the car. Oh, get out of the way. Get out of the way, let him through. And that was probably me distracting him there that caused him to have that impact. So we're gonna just gingerly make our way off the racetrack back to the Conrod, back to Conrod straight in the pit lane. Where we got damage? 6 seconds damage. Oh, sod it, we'll go for another lap, why not? It's too fun, this track, it really is. Whoa! Right. Hopefully we don't bin it going up the mountain this time. If we do, we'll just return to pits and take a look at everyone else on the track. That was a good corner. For me anyway, it's probably a rubbish corner to those that do it properly. Oh, bit of a drift. See if we can get this one right. Not quite. So losing a bit of time
Yellow
there.
flag in sector 3.
So Papa Chain is behind us again, so there's a bit of a gap between me and them this time round. Oh.
Yellow flag ahead, be careful.
And across the line
Well done,
in
mate. Personal
280.
best.
That's the fastest time I've got out of this car, so that's not bad. Gonna come right off the racetrack. before we return to pits so we don't get anyone else's way from now on. Anyway, so we're going to quit out from being a driver there. And then put in the magic password. Oh, hold on, we'll again put in the magic password. What? Hold on. This is a magic password you've got to say 3 times. There it is, guys. Anyway.
Green light, give it all you can.
So let's take a look at some people then. I'm going to go all the way down here to the start-finish straight. So we have from GT3 actually turning up for the final of tonight is Wing 76. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to Bathurst. Snooty McFlude, who did say he was going to turn up tonight in one of his many phenomenal liveries on the Camaro. What a livery it is as well. Welcome to Bathurst, Snooty McFlude. Let's see if we can see any fine fun details. That's all, not quite just the one on the side there. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So Danny, who's also in the Pride colours again after Silverstone last week. Oh, welcome to the final round, car number 44. Same car number as Lewis Hamilton. Jordan Grant Smith joins as current GT3 Simufur champion. Very nice looking logo as well, actually. And a statement there that I definitely think we can all agree with. 100%. So there's Jordan Grant Smith then for GT4 Simufur Bathurst. Fez Fox then in the McLaren. I believe this is his own livery. I'm not sure if it's an in-game custom or not. I don't really know the McLaren in this, but got some nice badges there. At the moment, it seems like everybody's out. We've got Papa Chain just back in now in the blue and white McLaren, following their classic livery. Welcome back, Papa Chain. We got anyone else? No, I haven't got anyone else in the pits at the moment. So it's Jordan Grant Smith. See if it takes us out to someone on track. Ah, there we are. So we've got Ant then in car number 24 with all the stickers. And an amalgamation of the Pride and Ace flag as well there. Symbolic to the fact that no matter who you are, you're always going to be equal in Simufur. Very nice that they've stuck their persona on there as well. A little Ace flag on their cheek as well. So welcome to Bathurst then. Hope he has a good one tonight. Tai Chi currently running in P1 then, in his red and black, apple red and black. Or I nearly said Ginetta, but it's not. It's an Alpine. Nice satin red colour there. Very nice indeed. On board then. Oh, Jordan Grant Smith's come out. So there we go then. driving a Mercedes tonight, same as Avalanche. I'm not sure if Avalanche is in. Azure Go. I'm glad we come to this livery next. So this one's got a bit of a story behind it. So Azure's always run this one with Goat Wolf, Goat Dynamic Racing, etc, etc. However, Azure yesterday finished a 24-hour race in Gran Turismo 4 in aid of his local charity for gender identity, Chrysalis, which you can see on the top of his car there, working solely on his own. He did achieve the 24 hours of Nürburgring, the full Nordschleife Nürburgring track, and raised over £2,500 for Chrysalis, so well done to Azure. He's agreed to keep the Chrysalis logo and his livery the same for this race, which is really, really good of him. Really good of everyone who carries the Pride flag, or any colourful colours really, to represent that we are indeed all one group. We support anyone that comes and races with us, and to most people it's like a home, and we keep encouraging it no matter what we do. I'm going to take one look at something for Ant a second, because we missed it last week. I want to see something. They put something on their rear wing last time. Ah, it's gone now. That's a shame. So last week I completely missed it, but across the rear wing they had the words "Hello Snowy." So that's very sweet of them. Kryptonite back for a race with us tonight. Nice orange and black Porsche they're driving there. Very striking orange as well. Maybe it's because of the sun. I don't know, but there you go. Snooty, we've seen Swing, we've seen Bracken. Back for the final race tonight in the orange, white and creamed Arcanine coloured Ginetta. Kyle Azuli tonight out in their very famous green, black and turquoise Porsche. Car number 271. They'll be looking at really attacking the boards and getting as high as they can tonight before they finish. Scani, very, very different colours for Scani. Very bright and colourful indeed. Normally drives an apple red car, the Scani, but they've decided to go for the Pride colours tonight, or at least a very colourful car, and it looks like the Pride colours tonight. So welcome back for the final race of GT4 Scani. We hope you have a good one tonight. Azure we've seen, Fez we've seen, Danny. Actually, Danny we haven't really seen much of, so there you go. I believe it's been improved, much improved since last time. I'm not too sure. It looks certainly more colourful than it did. Maybe it's just because it's been a week. Blade Wolf tonight then. Races in his own colours. Traditional, very famous for Blade Wolf to race in these colours. It's his own livery. Coming next to someone who definitely has a lot of supporters in this YouTube channel, it's Oraz. Replacing his Fox on the front with that one there. And absolutely, of course, the Pride Paw logo. Fantastic logo it is as well. Let's make all the colour changes as well. It used to be just pure black. It's now changed to a rainbow colour. Got his Fox logo on the side there. And then a colourful furry logo on top. Hopefully he has a good race tonight. Lunatic, back by his own accord in the nice metallic or satin metallic green, gold and black Porsche. And oh my, we're running out of time to do this, so we're going to have to go a little bit quicker. Have we seen everyone? Yes, we've seen everyone. It's quite a nice lineup there, including Scani's colourful Aston Martin in the background there. So 3 minutes left until we move into qualifying. And by all means, guys, share the link around.
Green light, green light. Show them what you got.
Share the link around, guys. Get people excited. Get people watching. So a load of cars come out of the track, come out of the pit straight away onto the mountain straight then. Over half the grid exiting the pits, all at the same time. Scani following behind there to get a bit of space behind them. I wonder how that will work when it comes to qualifying. 7 minutes of qualifying for these guys. And they're all quite well bunched up together going up the mountain. This is something I definitely wouldn't be looking at doing. The people that have left the pits now are probably the people that are going to get the best run at this. We've got 3 people going together at the first hairpin then. Quite gingerly coming through Skyline as well, going down into the S's. There we have Lunatic, who I believe is Wushell's partner. We have Wushell on stream with us tonight. Hi Wushell. Let's pick a driver and go then. Let's watch Oraz as he warms up. We're going to stay on board with him through the flying lap as well. Nice and smooth through a hill corner there, very nice, very well done. So here he goes then, up the mountain straight, full throttle as you can see in the bottom right. Here we go then, down on Quarry Bend, gear 3 like I said, hug that corner. Here he goes into the cut now, a bit of a tricky one to get by, but he does get it right. Down into gear 2, just lets it sail around that hairpin, very good so far. Straight down on the accelerator. Does he lift at this bit? A little bit with a bit of brakes, he's so close to the wall, but he holds on to it. Bit of a different section this one, oh! Very close, but makes it. Now on the Skyline he comes, doing very well so far. Into the S's. Oh, and manages to keep hold of it going down into the dipper. That's a brave move to make, but he's recovered it. Goes straight back on the throttle again. Coming into Forest Self, no, he loses it a bit hard on the brakes. And allowing it to flow through that corner. He's got Tai Chi behind him. Oraz currently in 6th place at the moment. I believe he's yet to set a fast time. This is him on Conrad. This is him on Conrad straight now. As you see, the cars can go full speed, or like some of the GT4 cars you see, they'll probably hit the limiter at this point depending on how fast they're driving. Through the cake, Oraz goes very easily, coming down into the chase now. smoothly through there, gets a good amount of speed up coming out of the corner. Heading down towards Murray's corner before the start-finish straight. So here he comes then. Onto the start-finish straight, and his time is a 2:16. He takes himself to be P2 in qualifying. Moved immediately down to P3 by Fez Fox, who takes P2. Tai Chi currently holds P1. Blade Wolf has just moved into P4 there. Oh, Papa Chain moves into P3, pushing Oraz to P4 and Blade to P5. Azure is P6. Scanny is P7. That's such a weird way to go through the cars. I'd quite like to see P8. Well, P8 is Bracken at the moment. P9, there we go, is now Ant. Kyla Zuli will be in 10th place. Jordan Grant Smith is sat in the pits still in P11. I wonder what he's got planned. Then, so P12 will be Danny. P13 is going to be Lunatic so far, but he's still yet to put in a fast lap. We've got 1 minute left of qualifying left to go. See what Lunatic can do as he continues to climb the mountain in the Porsche at high speeds then. Very good control over the Porsche he's got. Very close to that wall he came as well. It's not for the faint-hearted, this track. Here comes Wushel, and here comes Lunatic across the line to go P9, pushing Ant into P10, and sadly Bracken will be pushed down to P11 for now. I hope Lunatic's going to be careful. He's got a driver behind him moving at speed. Got Kyle Azuli trying to get round the outside. Rav Scani stopping on track there. I believe Kai is on a lap at the moment as he slowly lets Kai by. Hopefully there wasn't too much of an impediment there. But that is Lunatic done so far. Got some drivers out on the track, but anyway, here we go. Let's have a look at the timetables. So currently in P1 is Tai Chi in the Alpine. P2 is Papa Chain in the McLaren. Danny is in P3 in the Ginetta. Fez Fox is in P4 tonight after leading the majority of the series. Fez Fox will start in P4. Directly behind him is Azure Go in P5. That'll be exciting for Azure. Blade Wolf will be in P6. Scanny in P7. Oraz will be in P8 tonight, starting on race number 1. Lunatic finishes in P9 so far. Bracken will be P10. Ant is in P11. Kyla Zuli will be in P12. And Jordan Grant Smith, Kryptonite, Snooty and Wing76 have unfortunately not set a lap yet. However, Jordan Grant Smith is the current Simufur GT3 champion. Very fast racing driver overall, but obviously Simufur are concerned. He's our current GT3 champion, so will definitely be interesting to see what he can do.
what's happened here. When you look at your driver time, you're not allowed to do more than 4 hours and 40 minutes. Managing this driver time, particularly in very hot conditions, is going to be key to winning the Liquid Molly Bathurst 12 out here today.
Brilliant scenes on the grid. It's gradually beginning to...
So, whilst we wait for the server to update, etc, 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 we are going to
20 minutes before 6 o'clock, we'll have this extraordinary opening to the race.
go for a quick break.
Remember, so if
During that time, by the time we come back, the drivers will be on the grid, ready to go.
if you're coming to us on the international feed for the first time, the 12 hours starts when the Mercedes E63 safety car rules of the race, because the darkness makes perfect sense, really. I won't ask you to predict the race result, guys, but what we're going to see, Krelsen.
Welcome to the stream if you've just joined. We are due to go racing any minute now.
I'm not sure there's lots of predictions for a fast race. The quality at the pointy end of this grid is the best we've ever seen. Qualifying 1 yesterday, we had 18 cars covered by a second. It was so fiercely competitive. This place
I'll be back in just a couple of minutes, folks.
right on the middle screen is James Taylor. He's the race director for this race. His mandate this weekend is RPM, respect, patience, and moment, as in one moment can change your entire day. So he's been beating that into the drivers over the course of the weekend. It must be said on Friday, varying levels of success. They've got better and better over the course of the weekend. John, the guys were starting on the bridge because racetrack had a corner there, Colin starts to show coming down the water. It's also been like things got in the dark there, that was really what they talked about.
The Pirelli pit bunker is going to be the perfect place to dissect the action here today at Bathurst. Let's check out some race facts. We're due for a checkered flag at around 5:45 here local time, which means 270 to 300 laps, which is the equivalent distance of Melbourne to Brisbane, or for the Euros, about London down to Madrid. Now, lots to talk about here. We'll touch shortly on what's happened here with last night's pole time, but we're looking at about 10 pit stops across the course of the day, which will equate to a fuel window of about 30 to 40 laps. So what does that look like in terms of a race strategy? Let's go back to 2017, which is probably the best strategy we ever saw, the Maranello team. Blitz through the field. They started the day, Tony Villander drove the car twice, came in handed to Craig Lowndes, came in handed to Jamie Whincup, another stint from Craig Lowndes, double stint for Villander at the end of the day, and then back over to Jamie Whincup to finish it off. What does it look like in terms of driver time? Villander that day went 4 hours 20 minutes, so with Whincup, Craig Lowndes doing about an hour less in the middle. So it's a lot to dissect, but I think we're going to see very similar strategies to what's happened here. When you look at your driver time, you're not allowed to do more than 4 hours and 40 minutes. Managing this driver time, particularly in very hot conditions, is going to be key to winning the Liquid Molly Bathurst 12 out here today.
Brilliant scenes on the grid. It's gradually beginning to be cleared. If I look out over Harris Park, there are still people coming in this morning at 20 minutes before 6 o'clock. We'll have this extraordinary opening to the race. No darkness practice, remember. So if
30 seconds.
you're a rookie here and you're starting the race, you've never seen this track in the dark before. Also, if you're coming to us on the international feed for the first time, the
20 seconds.
when the Mercedes E63 safety car rules of the race, because of the darkness, it makes perfect sense, really.
10 seconds.
Predict the race result, guys, but I'm going to say Krelsen. Yeah, that's a good question. It's a $1 million question, almost quite literally multi-million when you take into account the value of this thing. I'm not sure there's lots of predictions for a fast race. The quality of the pointy end of this grid is the best we've ever seen. Qualifying 1 yesterday, we
Wolf seems like I've made it back just in time. So here we go then, gingerly making their way out, warming the tyres up. Got Tai Chi and Papa Chain P1 and 2 there with Danny in P3, Fez Fox in P4. They've not quite started the race yet, but this is going to be a good one, guys. This is the Simufur GT4 final round on Mount Panorama, Bathurst. We're just a few minutes away from green light and lights out, and for the last time this season there will be away in one of two 20-minute races with a qualifying session in between. So here we go then, the cars gingerly make their way through Skyline, still weaving about. Wonder who will be first to bin it in the S's whilst they're weaving about. It's not going to be Tai Chi, he's been very careful, so is Papa Chain Danny and Fez Fox. Blade and Scanny go through together. This is a terrible camera. Oraz there, followed by Lunatic, Bracken, and Kai. Very close together they are as well, going through the S's. So here they go. Coming off the dipper then, nobody's binned it so far. Jordan Grant Smith in the background there. Be interesting to see what he does as soon as the lights go green. He's followed by Snooty McFlude in P14 with Kryptonite P15 and Wing 76 in P16 then. So here they all come onto Conrod straight. It's the last real straight the drivers have to warm the tyres up. Everybody doing a bit of ducking and weaving. Bit of a family gathering going on at the back of the grid there between Jordan Grant Smith, Kryptonite and Snooty. So here we go then, all coming on to the, eventually making their way onto the chase corner. We are going so I'm going to skip ahead of them for a bit. So here they go then, traditional side-by-side 2x2 formation until we hit lights out round that final corner. Just here it will be the final time for GT4 Simufur, the World Championship. We're underway any minute now. We're going to go and wait for them at Hell Corner. At any minute now, it's going to be lights out and away they go for the final time in the Simufur GT4 World Championship at Mount Panorama today. So here they come all through Hell Corner. Oh, they're cautious. Oh, they're cautious. Oh, they're waiting for each other. There's a bit of a bump between Ant and Snooty McFlude there. But the cars still go too wide. They eventually funnel into solo. Fez Fox is going too wide with Papa Chain there. They're coming up to this corner then, see what's going to happen between these two. Fez Fox has gained the position. Danny has gained a position. Azura's gone wide. Blade's taken advantage. Oraz is trying to work on an advantage there. Still no yellow flags yet. The drivers have been very good. Scanny is very much hot on their tail. They all come up to the hairpin then. They all get through reasonably clean, following one another as they go. Kyle Azuli's dropped back to Snooty McFlude then, as we all make their way onto the mountain section. Let's see then, so Tai Chi's got a phenomenal start today with Fez Fox in second place chasing. Papa Chain and Danny going through. Coming on the Skyline, Blade, Azure and Oraz are following them. Still no accidents yet. Scanny, Lunatic, Jordan Grant Smith is making his way up through the grid there. Now up to P10 from P13 as he follows Lunatic down the S's. Very, very close indeed. Bracken is just behind him. Wonder if Bracken will look to take a pull from Jordan Grant Smith. Jordan very, very much on Lunatic's tail. Going to come on to Conrod straight then, so reasonably clean lap 1 so far. There we see it, Jordan Grant Smith going side by side with Lunatic. He gets the position as they come into the kink then. Azure chases down Blade Wolf for a bit but doesn't quite manage to succeed. Scani nearly takes Jordan Grant Smith, and Lunatic is on Scani's tail. He does get the position from Scani though. Zurgo and Ant have had a bit of an off. They managed to move wide to let the other cars through. That's Jordan Grant Smith up to 9th place now. We've had 2 cars at the back of the grid. They've failed to recover. That is Blade Wolf and Anne. Unfortunately, they've failed to recover. Blade Wolf has got a phenomenal amount of damage on his car. And so is Ant there. That was a massive, massive hit for them. Kryptonite comes into the pits as well, also with damage. And so not a great lap 1 for these drivers. Got Ant coming in to recover as well, and Blade Wolf comes in. These 3 are now at the back of the grid. Meanwhile, up at the front of the grid, Tai Chi is holding very much holding the place to Fez Fox. You've got Papa Chain chasing Fez Fox down, whilst Danny works hard at it as well. Danny lost out 2 positions there, it seems, or is it 1 position? I'm not 100% sure. But nevertheless, Tai Chi in the Alpine is doing very well at Bathurst today. Meanwhile, back down we've got Oraz, who's now battling Jordan Grant Smith for P5. Oraz doing his best to stay ahead of Jordan Grant Smith, but Jordan Grant Smith is holding on. There's a slow car ahead of them now. It seems to be Tai Chi. He's lost it. He's lost 2 positions then. He must have binned the car. It's a shame. Jordan Grant Smith trying to look for the outside of Oraz, going down into the dipper with Lunatic closely behind them then. Here they come into Forest's corner, around the final hairpin. Not at Conrod straight. This is probably where Jordan Grant Smith will capitalise on overtaking. Continues to follow very, very closely behind. Oraz, you can just see him there in the Mercedes, creeping up. He goes for the overtake. And Oraz there at full speed, but Jordan Grant Smith very, very cleanly going round him for P6 then. Meanwhile, we have Lunatic in P7. Zurgo holding P8 very well. Chased by Scani and Studi McFluid in the Camaro there, with Bracken in P11 now after losing the place to Studi. So they all come round onto the start-finish straight. All the drivers doing relatively well so far. The other 3 drivers have now exited the pits, or there is someone. Nope. Oh yeah, it's Ant. He has just literally got repaired, so he's coming out in P15 then. Anyway, we go to Kyle Azuli in P13. They look like they've had a bit of a smash. Deary me. So Ant patiently waits for Kyle Azuli to go past before. Oh no! Unfortunately. Oh no! Unfortunately, Ant comes out the pits and receives a drive-through penalty. That penalty isn't going to apply until he comes out onto the track and physically drives through. That is a shame there. But anyway, Kyle Azuli in P13. Kryptonite in P14. Ant is in P15 for now. But then Blade Wolf will be in P15 shortly. However, it's Fez Fox now leading the Mount Panorama Simufur GT4 Championship. 14 minutes left of the race to go. Papa Chain's in second. Danny is in a very close third and giving chase, and Tai Chi with a very battered car is in fourth. Such a shame. Anyway, back up the grid, we've got Jordan Grant Smith then working on P5 to get to Tai Chi in P4. The Lunatic in P6, Oraz in P7 doing very well tonight. Azure Goat still holding P8, with Scani behind being chased by Snooty McFluid. And here we go then, Snooty in the absolute chunk of a Camaro, charging down behind Scani on Conrod Straight as they head towards the kink. Snooty goes for, looks like the inside of this corner. See what happens, and oh, it's very tight through the corner, but Scania keeps hold of the position just about. Snooty McFluid goes a little bit wide to avoid that collision. It's very good racing from these two, very clean racing indeed. They come onto Murray corner, and Scania still holds P9 as they start lap number 4, I believe, or 3. I don't know how it works in this. Anyway, let's go back a little bit further down the grid. We've got Bracken in P11. Wing 76 in P12. Lazuli still holding on to P13 with Kryptonite quite far behind him in P14. The leaders are not too far behind him. And unfortunately, I believe, has given up so far. He's got a drive-through penalty after pitting with damage. It's a very shame to give up on the first race, but he's still got one more race to go. Welcome to the stream if you've just joined us. It's Fez Fox in the lead from Papa Chain. Danny, who's now in P3, and Tai Chi in P4, but Jordan Grant Smith is still working very hard to creep his way up the grid. Then started from pretty much last place, Jordan Grant Smith. We're now 3 laps in and he's at P5. The guy's an absolute legend when it comes to racing. Bit of a wiggle there though, but that won't bother him. There's a bit of a thing going on between Lunatic and Oraz, so Oraz is chasing Lunatic down the mountain then. Lunatic holding on to P6 with Oraz in P7. Azure and Scanny in P8 and 9. Bit of a gap between them as well, so Azure can breathe a little bit. However, not much though, as Snooty McFluid is chasing Scanny. So Scanny's got this race to look out for, whilst Azure continues to build the gap between them. See if Snooty McFluid can get the go on Scanny again. There was a green flag waved in the background there. I'm wondering if someone else has had an off. I'm not sure though. Anyway, here come these two going through the chase, coming down onto Murray's corner. And we have Blade Wolf stopped now in P16. Someone else has gone off. It's Jordan Grant Smith. Jordan Grant Smith has crashed in P5. What's going on there? Jordan Grant Smith has crashed from P5. After all the hard work, where is he now? Oh dear, so he comes back onto the track then, behind Snooty McFluid and Scanny.
We're at the halfway mark, keep pushing.
So 10 minutes left of the race then. Jordan Grant Smith is now down in 10th place with Bracken behind. He's now got to do all that hard work again in the last 10 minutes of the race to get back up the grid, so we'll come back to him in a bit. Meanwhile, up ahead, we've still got Oraz sticking very close indeed to Lunatic. But at the same time, we've got Danny, who seems to have lost a place to Tai Chi. There's a slow car up ahead. Who's that that's going slow? It's Fez Fox. Fez Fox has lost a place to Papa Chain. The Papa Chain now leads the first of 2 races. Fez Fox looks like he's taking a bit of a bash on the front of the car there. What's going on? Where's the cameras? So Tai Chi doing very well. And it's now Oraz in the grid from P6. I wonder what happened there. We'll see if we can pop down and see him. It's allowed Azure Goat to capitalise, but he's got a train of 3 cars chasing him, who are all chasing one another in a 4-way race for P6, it seems. This could be interesting. Snooty almost goes to make a move, but he doesn't. Jordan Grant Smith has done well to catch up with the back of this 4-way pack. Look at them try and go 3 wide out the start-finish straight. Snooty and Scanny going to a drag race. Jordan very, very close behind Snooty McFluid there. And they come skidding round the corner. Jordan and Snooty McFluid go side by side. Unfortunately, Scanny seems to have lost out a little bit there. So it's now a 0 go in P6. Snooty McFluid in P7, Jordan Grant Smith in P8, and Scanny in P9. Bracken takes the top 10, 10th place then. So Jordan Grant Smith, let's watch him. Jordan Grant Smith. Oh, bit of a wiggle there. Oh dear. So working to chase down Snooty McFluid and a 0 go. I wonder how much defending a 0 will do against Jordan Grant Smith if it happens. He's got Snooty McFluid to look after at the moment, who's very much behind him. Look how much Jordan's fighting that car. Little bit of a dink on the wall there means he begins to lose that gap that he's built to Snooty, but he's got every possible chance to gain it back now. You can see him there again creeping closer to the Camaro. It's easy to see the Camaro becomes a very, very wide car when it starts acting defensively. Snooty trying to look for a way round Azure then, but Azure is holding on very much so. Got Snooty and Jordan Grant Smith, they're both going to go for Azure, but it doesn't happen, so Azure still holds on to P6 then. He's got Jordan Grant Smith and Snooty McFluid going either side of him. They're going to try and go either side of him. He must be bricking it, seeing Jordan Grant Smith and Snooty McFluid behind him. Snooty McFluid forming a train behind Jordan Grant Smith as they look to go around him, but they don't get it this time then. So they all start the hill climb together. There's 5.5 minutes left of this race to go. Can Azure hold on? It's Lunatic in P5 and Danny and Tai Chi in P4 and P3. Snooty very close to Jordan Grant Smith as they come up the hairpin. As Yurgo, hold on. There's not long left of this race to go. There's probably a couple of laps in it. He's just got a couple of laps to go. This man coming from racing a 24-hour race yesterday from 5 p.m. one day to 5 p.m. the next day in aid of charity, raising £2,500. Now currently looks to defend from the current GT3 Simufur champion. Working very hard he is as well as they go into the S's and down the dipper. Be interesting to see what happens on Conrod Straight as Yurgo is doing very well to hold these guys off. He needs a good exit out the hairpin, which he does get, but unfortunately Jordan Grant Smith gets a better exit and so does Snooty McFluid. They're both very close to him now. It could be any minute now. Jordan Grant Smith goes to make a move. They're side by side on Conrod Straight, heading to the kink. And unfortunately it's Jordan Grant Smith that takes P6 from Azure. So it'll be Snooty's turn now. Azure has done very, very well to hold Jordan Grant Smith off for that short amount of time, but they're not finished yet. There's 4 minutes left of the race to go. Jordan Grant Smith continues in P6. Azure will be in P7. Snooty McFluid is in P8. It seems to have lost a bit of time to Azure. You've got Scanny in the background there in P9 and Bracken in P10. Meanwhile, a little bit further up the grid, Wing is in his own race in P11, working to chase down Bracken. Oraz has unfortunately come to a stop, and so is Kyle Azuli in P12th and 13th then. So we've got Kryptonite still currently out on track in P14. Oh, and Bracken's taken a bit of a smash as well. Bathurst has claimed its fair amount of victims today, guys. Kyle Azuli is on his way back out, on their way back out, please excuse me, on their way back out to see how far they can get back up the grid then. Kryptonite seems to have pitted as well. That's quite a few drivers who have come into the pits to repair damage. Bathurst has claimed its victims with 2 minutes 40 seconds left of the race to go. Blade Wolf is out in P16 at the moment, but that can all change. Anyway, back up to the front of the grid then. It's Papa Chain in P1. Built a solid gap from Fez Fox in P2. Tai Chi doing very well to hold Danny off in P3 at the moment. But Danny's not giving up just yet. There's still a position in it. Tai Chi doing very well to push that battered Alpine through the closing stages of the mountain. Should be getting a notification now.
Right, man, leader is on the final lap.
Yeah, leader is on the final lap. Danny looks to go around the outside of Tai Chi, but it doesn't quite make it happen. Allows Tai Chi to get away then. So these drivers are now on their last lap. P1 and 2 are sticking together pretty much. You've got Bracken, who's going to have to move for traffic any time soon. Yep, so Bracken's in P11, having the blue flags waved at him at the moment, but I'm not sure how he's going to make that work coming up through the mountain. So he allows Papa Chain through. He's going to have to let Fez Fox through somewhere then. Unfortunately, I don't think the mountain section is going to be the section to let Fez Fox through. Papa Chain continues to build a gap to Fez Fox. So I think Fez Fox is going to have to settle with P2. And for this reason, Bracken clouts the wall coming into the skyline. That's not what you want to do. And he loses a car. Boy, he brings it to a stop just before hitting the barrier. That is something else. He's got the car rolling again. Slight bit of damage for him, but the important thing is he's still got the car on the track. So here we have Lunatic then, P5, Jordan Grant Smith's next victim. 16 seconds left of the race. Look how close Jordan Grant Smith is to Lunatic. Jordan Grant Smith wants that P5 position. Lunatic doing his best to hold off as they come round the hairpin, but the Porsche isn't the best in the straight line. That Mercedes will have that line. Can Lunatic do anything defensive to keep Jordan Grant Smith behind him? He can't. Jordan Grant Smith works his way to going side by side as they come into the little bit of a kink, and Grant Smith has in fact got the position, so it will be Grant Smith in P5 and Lunatic finishing in P6 today. Slightly further up the grid, you've got Azure finishing in a respectable P7 tonight, with Snooty McFlude in P8 in the chonk of a Camaro in his own custom livery. I'd like to point out, absolutely loving the rainbow coloured grille that Snooty McFlude's got going on. That's quite a subtle thing. They cross the line very close together in P7 and 8. Well done to those two. And it will be Scanny who takes P9. Very respectable, considering he missed a couple of races with us. P10 will be Wing 76, who comes onto the chase now. Bit bumpy through the chase, but nevertheless he's held on to P10 in his own little race there as well. Bracken's finished the race. The Zuli will finish in P12. It'll be Kryptonite in P14, Blade Wolf in P15. And unfortunately Ant loses out in P16. So it seems like Oraz has in fact held on to P14, then over Blade Wolf in P15. Kryptonite will finish in P13. Bracken, oh no. Oh dear, Bracken, you poor lads. He has given up and will settle for P11th. Oh dear. Anyway, guys, that was round 1 of the final round. So we're going to go into a quick 7-minute 6-7-minute qualifying session. In which case, all we'll be doing is looking at the live timetables for that one. There'll be no commentary on that one, whilst I go and have a bit of a break. And then we'll go into race 2, the final race of the Simufur GT4 World Championship. Hopefully we can see all 16 drivers come out for the second race and complete it. But it's sad to say Bathurst has claimed its fair share of victims in this race 1. It is a cruel, cruel track if you get it wrong.
At around a quarter to 6 here local time, which means 270 to 300 laps, which is the equivalent distance of Melbourne to Brisbane, or for the Euros, about London down to Madrid. Now, lots to talk about here. We'll touch shortly on what's happened here with last night's pole time, but we're looking at about 10 pit stops across the course of the day, which will equate to a fuel window of about 30 to 40 laps.
Things on the grid, it's gradually beginning to be cleared. If I look out over Harris Park, there are still people coming in this morning at 20 minutes before 6 o'clock. We'll have this extraordinary opening to the race. Your darkness practice, remember? So if you're a rookie here and you're starting the race, you've never seen this track in the dark before. Also, if you're coming to us on the international thing for the first time, the 12 hours starts when the Mercedes E63 safety car rolls off the race because the darkness makes perfect sense, really. I won't ask you to predict the race results, guys, but I'm going to say Krelser. Yeah, that's a good question. It's $1 million question, almost quite literally multi-million.
So, short wait. Then we go into the qualifying where I'll leave the live timetables up.
Last race, the quality of the point end of this grid is the best we've ever seen. Qualifying 1 yesterday, we had 18 cars covered by a second. It was so fiercely competitive. This place will play a role as well. Race control, right on the screen, is James Taylor. He's the race director for this race. His mandate this weekend is RPM, respect, patience, and moment. As in one moment change your entire day. So he's been beating that into the drivers over the course of the weekend. It must be said on Friday, varying levels of success, and it's got better and better over the course of the weekend. Johnny, the guys were standing on the bridge beyond Iceberg Hill corner there because that's the shot coming down towards it. It's also a bit like football of a rugby school. There's things going on in the dark there that we don't really want to talk about.
No, true. And you just wonder whether one or two think they might get away with something they couldn't do in daylight. Let's hope not. We've also had a number of cars crashed early on in the weekend this year. We've got that out of our system now, and we can go for some clear laps and try to avoid the safety car where possible. I mean, I quite like the safety car.
Just to add there, Zach, the next series, I believe, will be taking a bit of a break between GT4 and having another championship series. I think I can speak for all the drivers when I can say they're definitely crying out for one. We went into a GT3 championship of 6 rounds, straight into 6 rounds of a GT4 championship that you've been watching for the majority of the last 6 Sundays. Did have a one-off race last week, but ended up stopping that one halfway through because there wasn't really many people watching it. And I was also shattered.
Green light, go, go, go.
So here we go then, 7 minutes of qualifying 2. We'll keep an eye on the timetables. And I'll be back in about 7 minutes, guys. So enjoy the timetables, and I'll see you shortly. apologies there, guys. Took a little bit longer to get back, but at least I didn't come back into the warm-up lap. So here we are then. Here's your start-finish grid. Oh, sugar. All right then, so in P1, Tai Chi again in the Alpine. Very well done to him, qualifying in P1. Danny takes P2, Papa Chain in P3. Blade Wolf qualifies a lot better this time round in P4 with Lunatic in P5. Azurgo goes to P6. Oraz will try again in P7. Scanny will be in P8 and in P9. Bracken will be in P10. Kyle Azuli has Jordan Grant Smith behind them in P13. They hold P12 at the moment. Kryptonite will take P14. Studio McFluid will take P15. And wing number 76 will take P16. Should start hearing the engines roar into life now for the final race of the final round of the Simufur GT4 World Championship at Bathurst today. So off we go then on a formation lap. Jordan Grant Smith struggles to get going there. Cars coming into the Skyline area now. Skyline claimed quite a few cars last race. So did the S's as well. Very unfortunate corner for a lot of drivers last race. Excuse me. Oh, took a drink and it went down the wrong way. So here we go then. For the final time in the final series of the Simufur GT4 World Championship. Danny's ahead of Tai Chi, may end up getting a penalty for position if he doesn't give back the position soon. We'll see what happens as we wait for them down at Hill Corner.
Green light, go, go, go.
And it's lights out and away they go. So here they come then at the Hill Corner. Everybody very cautious and clean through the corner indeed. Bracken and Snooty seem to have come out side by side to one another. Snooty the gains there. Jordan Grant Smith is all over and Scanny as he starts to climb the mountain. There's Jordan Grant Smith that capitalises from it straight through, no questions asked. Tai Chi has lost the position to Danny, it seems. We come into the hairpin then, very clean through the hairpin. Everybody makes it through, no questions asked. Let's wait for them down at Skyline. So here they come then. Danny in first, Tai Chi in second, Papa Chain in third, Blade in fourth. Oh, I can't keep up. Very clean race so far then. So we'll look at Danny, who's holding P1 currently. So far a very clean opening lap then, as most of the drivers make it out relatively unscathed. Jordan Grant Smith and Stevie McFlude again chasing down Scanny for that position. Got Bracken on amp just in the background there. Straight through goes Snooty McFlude. Nope, sorry, Jordan Grant Smith, Scanny and Snooty McFlude come together and have a little bit of a tap between one another, but Scanny still keeps the position. Snooty McFlude giving a bit of a flash there. Oh, Kyle Azuli is going to make a move, it looks like, but it doesn't quite happen. But they do move. They do look to make a move again around the outside of Wing as they head down the mountain straight. BMW and the Porsche side by side with one another as they come down the mountain straight. Azuli is just ahead as they all come together into the corner. And Bracken go 2 by 2 nearly, but Bracken capitalises on the position. Azuli does get the position over Wing 76. Back up the grid quickly. Snooty is still chasing Scanny. Jordan Grant Smith working on catching Oraz now, who's doing well in 7th place. Lunatic is in P6 with Thatcher in P5. Blade Wolf in a solid P4 this time. A much better opening lap for Blade Wolf. Papa Chain, Danny and Tai Chi all fight out ahead. Tai Chi has got P1 again then over Danny. It's now Papa Chain chasing Danny down. Danny down as Tai Chi makes his way onto the Forest Corner hairpin before we come to Conrod Straight, beginning to open that gap up. Meanwhile, Danny's got Papa Chain to worry about behind him now as that Alpine just slowly but surely disappears in. We've had an off, guys. It's Azure Goat. Unfortunately, the last corner of the mountain has in fact claimed Azure Goat. That is such a shame. And Azure Goat comes back to the pits. And sadly, that's him finished for the night. What a shame. Anyway, so back up to P1 then. Tai Chi's doing very well to hold on to P1. Papa Chain's now in P2 with Danny in a solid P3. Blade Wolf is in P4. Behind him is Lunatic in P5, with Jordan Grant Smith having taken Oraz and now in P6, looking to chase Lunatic down. Scanning in P8, Bracken in P9, P9 being chased by Studio McFlude. Ant is in P... Oh, it was P10, but it's now P11 after losing the position to Lazuli. Slotting in quite nicely there between Wing and Kryptonite. Lazuli doing very well to get through the hairpin. So their next target then is Senior McFlude just up ahead, is still working on chasing down Bracken. Wing and Kryptonite in P13 and 14 respectively. Up ahead of the game then, Tai Chi is still holding on to the lead over Papa Chain in the Alpine. However, Danny has managed to close the gap a little bit on the Alpine. Nope, on Papa Chain's McLaren. Blade Wolf in a bit of a race of his own then. Jordan Grant Smith has taken Lunatic, and Lunatic now works on being chased down by Oraz. Scanny in his own little race at the moment then, in P8, doing very well to hold on to the position. Seems to have got past Lazuli, and so does Wing, goes side by side with Lazuli but capitalises on the position. So Ant now in P11. Lazuli comes into the pits, it seems. I wonder what's happened there. It doesn't look like they've taken a particular hard bash to the car. Not sure what seemed... Oh. Seems to be a quick splash and dash it seems, but they come out in P14 then. Back up in the leads. Tai Chi still holding on from Papa Chain. Well done. Well done so far. Blade Wolf doing very well to hold on to P4. The rest of the grid from P5, Jordan Grant Smith onwards, is actually quite close together then. They're doing very well to keep up with one another on Bathurst. Just 11.5 minutes left of the race to go. Come back to these two then. Bracken's holding off Snooty McFlude just about as they get onto the Conrod straight. So here they go then. Snooty does take the position as they come into the chase. Very clean overtake from Studio McFlude on Bracken. Bush of Bracken down in P10. Meanwhile, further back, you've got Ant in P11 and Kryptonite in P12, with Lazuli out on their own in P13, stopping after a splash and dash. Meanwhile, having a better race today then is Oraz, quite in the middle of it all, and with Scammy just behind him and Lunatic just ahead of him. Been doing very well to hold on in the race. Snooty runs a little bit wide there in the background. What's going on there? Bracken's taken the position back. Bracken loses it. Ooh, but rescues it just about. Studio McFluid manages to
We are halfway through. Keep
Studio
pushing.
manages to cleanly get through there. That was a brown trouser moment for Bracken. Meanwhile, Orez seems to have opened up a bit of a gap to Scammy, it seems. Seems to be closing the gap down a little bit to Lunatic there as well in P6. Meanwhile, further up the field, Jordan Grant Smith has got ahead of Blade Wolf and is currently sat in P4, pushing Blade Wolf down to P5. A lot of the drivers either move instinctively out the way for Jordan Grant Smith, or they try and defend and he just finds a way through anyway. He is that good a racer. Just under halfway of the race to go then. Tai Chi's opened up a solid gap to Papa Chain. Having a much better race this time round. Danny doing well to hold on to P3 there. However, Jordan Grant Smith is not far behind them. So the three ahead of him better do some serious pushing in order to keep it ahead of Jordan. He will not be there for long, and unfortunately Orez loses it and kisses the wall. Oh, that is a bad hit for Orez. As he comes back onto the track, Studio McFluid sails past him. Next car to catch up now will be Bracken, but hopefully Orez can do his best to stay in P9. It will be. Seems like down the back of the grid, Kryptonite is doing well to catch up with that and P11. Bit brave getting that close to one another coming down through the dipper section of the mountain downhill. There's a bit of a scuff going on up ahead though, as Scanny and Studio McFluid battling it out again. Poor Orez will be left to hold on to 9th place unless Bracken can catch up in the position. That's a hell of a bang Orez took to the front of his car. Such a shame as well, he was having a better race this time round. Slightly further up the grid, and it seems that Lunatic has closed the gap down to Blade Wolf today. 6 minutes left of the race. We'll see if Lunatic can take the position back. Or take the position, not take the position back. These two are absolutely flying through the mountain section. Coming into the skyline now. tell you the one fond memory I have of Bathurst, Wushel, Azure, Blazed, and Zara will share it with me, is back in March earlier this year. We attended the 12 hours of Bathurst for RCI, racing in a GT3 Aston Martin, and what a day it was. It was the first time I could honestly say I properly tried the GT3 Aston Martin and liked it. It was a seriously good car, it really was. But the whole race as well, we had our drawbacks, but for every drawback we had, we made each driver doing it, or each driver that had a setback would make up the positions and then some. For the whole 12 hours, it was a pure adrenaline rush for the full 12 hours of it. Something I'll never forget, which is why Bathurst is probably my second. No, Bathurst is definitely my favourite track, with Silverstone in a very close second. Who's that in the pits? It's Bracken. Bracken's come to a stop in the pits. Look at the gap between Tai Chi and Papa Chain now. 5.2 seconds splits P1 and 2. Tai Chi is having a phenomenal race this time round. He is really making that Alpine fly. Let's see. Oh no, Jordan Grant Smith has caught up to P3. So it's Danny that's got to hold on and try and do the absolute best that he can now from Jordan Grant Smith. Two minutes 35 left of the session. I don't think it'll even be last lap when Tai Chi crosses the line this time round. So here goes Jordan Grant Smith running the outside of Danny as they come into Hill Corner. Oh, they get very close. There's a slight knock between them, but it's Jordan Grant Smith that gets out ahead of Danny for P3 then. See how we're going down the rest of the pack. You're kidding me. Oh, come on. What's going on with that? Am I the only one it's happened to? Oh, we might be back in business, guys. Of course, just as the checkered flag happens. Anyway. Oh no, it's not quite checkered flag just yet. These drivers are still racing, so Tai Chi is in P1. Jordan Grant Smith is doing his absolute best to hold on to it, or possibly take the position in P2. He's sliding all over the place though as they work their way through the mountain section. So through Skyline they come together, heading into the S's. It's Tai Chi holding on to P1, he's just going to get the Alpine home. Jordan Grant Smith is right behind him in P2, the current GT3 champion. Having a bit of a wiggle there going through the S's. Papa Chain and Danny are very close behind him. Suddenly the session has ended. Anyway, that's not going to stop them. Tai Chi will hold on in P1 so far, but Jordan Grant Smith goes side by side with him down the Conrod straight, heading towards the kink. It's Jordan Grant Smith ahead now, and it looks like it's going to be him to take P1. That's such a shame for Tai Chi. What is Jordan Grant Smith doing? He's lost it. Jordan Grant Smith's lost it. And Tai Chi comes back round then to take over P1. Is that true? Take over P1? But they come into the grid. So I guess so yet again the session has come to a premature end. I don't really know what happened there, but I'm going to bring the stream to an end now. So to everybody that's watched, thank you very much for joining in for all 6 weeks that we've been doing this. This is the last of the GT4 World Championship until the commentary series for GT4 returns. There may be another series up and coming. After we've had a bit of a break, there will be the GT3 Championship. However, I won't be running commentary for that. I'll be actually racing that one. So whenever GT4 is back, there will definitely be another set of commentary streams up. I will be running any commentary on the one-off races, so please keep an eye out on my Twitter at DogOfSnow for anything related to one-off races between the Simufurs. But for all, that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for all your support as well, guys. It's been much appreciated. And good night. Thanks again. Much appreciated.